This is Big Country Lifestyles with Robbie Johnson of Keller Williams Realty. This show is about you, your lifestyle, your home, and our community. This is the show where we explore our area to help you find the perfect home. It's also a place where we help you sell your home. Whatever your preferred lifestyle is, Johnson Property Group wants to help you find the perfect property. Thank you for tuning in to Big Country Lifestyles. Well, good morning, Big Country, and welcome to Big Country Lifestyles, a radio show that is all about real estate and our area. Today, we've got some special guests with us in the studio. Chase Gamble from Gateway Mortgage, who's going to talk with us about VA loans, and Pam Seitz with the Abilene Convention and Visitors Bureau. But first with me today is my awesome team. Johnson Property Group team members Joe Potosnik and Alex Finn.
Well, hello, Big Country, and this is Alex Finn, and thank you for letting us be on your radio dial for the next 30 minutes.
Okay, Alex, I have barely seen you in the last few weeks because you have been so busy with buyers and writing offers. I know it was 2 offers yesterday. I know that you still are trying to find some properties for us, so tell us a little bit about what you're trying to find for your buyers. And Big Country, I really want you to listen up because this could really be a great opportunity for you to get your property sold if you're thinking about selling your home.
Well, are you all ready for this? Because we have quite a few, actually. So if you have a home to sell, please call the Johnson Property Group at 325-268-6772. And right now, I'm looking for a buyer, and he needs to park 4 cars.
4 cars. Like, he wants a 4-car garage.
Well, what we need is at least a 2-car garage for at least 2 more. They're not particular where in Abilene they want to live, but at least 3 bedrooms and up to $200,000.
Well, Robbie, I need something in the country.
Well, this is Joe talking now. And what in the heck do you define as the country, Joe? Now that you've piped up.
I'm talking about something outside the city limits of Abilene, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, up to an acre or more, and some property that's far away from neighbors.
Far away from neighbors. Everybody wants to be far away from their neighbors. We hear that all of the time. Joe? Anything else?
Oh,
that
absolutely.
You need?
I have another customer looking for a property in the city limits up to $150,000 with a large backyard. Okay.
So, you've really been listing a lot of homes lately. Actually, you've been listing more than me, and that's pretty darn good. One of the homes that you listed lately got 7 offers on the first day.
Dang.
That was pretty impressive. And I think you're about to put another great one on the market. Tell our listeners a little bit about the one that you're about to put on the market.
Absolutely. I have a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 3-car garage home coming up in the Wiley School District. It's going to be about 2,700 square feet, and it'll be on 1 acre and priced around $385,000.
You know what's really interesting to me is that you really don't see a lot of homes here that are 3 true baths that you can take a bath in. Many are just 4-bedroom, 2-bath homes. When Jeff and I bought our first home here, that was really a big thing to me because where I sold real estate previously, and I'm actually licensed in 2 other states, but where I sold previously, there were a lot of 4-bedroom, 3-bath homes. And what I found here is everything was a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. And when we found one with a half bath, so I could at least have a sink and a commode, we bought it.
Oh, you know what? Talking about 3-bath homes, that is very desirable. I'm also looking for another buyer. Need up to 5 acres out in the country as well. 3 bedrooms, maybe 4 bedrooms with 3 full baths, up to $180,000. And the thing is that they're willing to renovate and take care of it. So if you have a home to sell, please contact us.
So renovate. How much renovating do they really want to do?
Well, they need to figure that out because I did show them a home here this past week, Robbie, and it was funny because we walked into this door and it was completely pitch black, and then something started hissing at us.
Hissing? Hissing at you?
Yes, it started hissing at us, and I was like, okay, well, that's your home now. I'm sorry I disturbed you.
That is funny. Okay.
We also need a smaller home. It can be here in Wiley, 3 bedrooms, up to $250,000. We have quite a few customers that are looking out here in the country in the same price range, 3 bedrooms up to $250,000 as well.
I've also got one kind of similar to that. They want 5 to 10 acres, 3 bedrooms, up to $250,000. This is a local couple, so they really kind of understand that the home might be less than 2,000 square feet in order to get 5 to 10 acres. in what they're looking for. But what's really interesting, too, to me is that a lot of people call me who are relocating here and they think, oh, I'm moving to West Texas, I'm moving to the big country, and I'm going to get a deal. I'm going to get land for $50 an acre. And that is not what it is here at all. You're not going to get a brand new home for $100,000 on 5+ acres.
Robbie, you're really right, because most of the homes out here, you're looking in the Potosi area or what have you, they're going up in prices. So moving here to Abilene, you're going to have to pay now near top dollar to get what you're looking for.
Well, I think it's interesting because I don't mind paying $300,000 for a home with land on it. Where I raised my children, which was in Destin, Florida, my house in Destin, which was 2 blocks from the beach, was a 25-foot entrance. It kind of pied out just a little bit, but my backyard was 50 feet. So it was 25 by 50 by 75 deep. I actually lived on a postage stamp.
And we did not know what a riding lawnmower is until I moved here to West Texas, because I mowed that lawn.
Weed eater.
And I used a weed eater to mow my lawn.
Yeah, the cost of living is very, very different here. So if you got anything else that's coming up.
If you have Cooper High School as well, that's a very desirable school district, looking for a home in there. Most buyers that we have, y'all, they're looking for at least 3 bedrooms. And 1.5 is great, but if you have a 1-bath home, that can be difficult. So if you can renovate it or have it priced right so people can renovate and add to that second full bath, that's going to make your home very much more desirable.
Perfect. Anything else coming up?
Well, I did meet a gentleman this past week, and what's interesting is he said, I have my daughter, and she's really interested in the Grove. And I just had this huge smile on my face, kept listening to him talk. And it was funny because I was like, sir, we're actually listing the Grove. And I don't know that much about the Grove myself. Robbie, can you please tell us more about the Grove?
Absolutely. Jeff and I moved to Abilene about 4 years ago, and we moved into a subdivision on the side of Steamboat called Sandstone Subdivision. And being a broker in Florida for many years, and now I'm actually a broker in Texas, I knew that the values were pretty high in that area, and I kind of understood value very quickly, and I really saw a need for affordable housing in Tuscola. The builders of our home, our personal home, were Kevin Tutt and Mike Daggs, and they just delivered such a great product. And when they came to me and said that they had this subdivision idea in Tuscola, I have just been so honored to be able to represent them. The Grove is actually Tuscola's newest, most affordable subdivision. It's right behind Gymnet High School in literally a grove of pecan trees. It's gorgeous. The entrance is going to be on 8th Street, and you cannot miss my huge sign that is up. Actually, our huge sign. It's Johnson Property Group's huge sign. And the first home is just about complete. It's actually a custom home, but the second home can be yours. It's a spec home. And there's going to be 25 homes total that are going to be built. We've already got 4 reserved that are custom homes. And the prices are going to start at $138,000 and go up to about $168,000. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths with granite and stainless. If you're interested and you want more information, you need to call me quick at 325-428-9114. I've actually got a couple who just drove in from Lubbock who's securing their own lot to build on and will be using a VA loan. And I think that's a pretty perfect subdivision for active duty as well, because it's really a quick drive to the base. And speaking of the base, up next to talk to us about VA loans is going to be Chase Gamble with Gateway Mortgage. I'm so glad that you're able to be with us today, Chase. I've been friends with Chase since literally the day that I moved here, and he has successfully closed so many homes for our clients. And I have to say, Chase, I have really never heard a negative word about you at all, and your follow through is just tremendous, and I'm always so glad whenever our customers choose you and I get to work with you. It's an honor. So thank you for all of your hard work, especially for our military members. So I want to begin. We're talking today about VA loans. What are the benefits to using a VA loan, Chase? Take it away.
Well, and first of all, thank you for that great introduction, Robbie. But VA loans, in my opinion, if you're a veteran or active duty military, it's the only 100% loan out there besides the USDA loan that's not restricted by where you live and whether it's in town or out of town or what have you. 100% loan with no monthly mortgage insurance. So, in my opinion, it's
Okay, tell us what that means.
Okay.
I didn't mean to interrupt you,
Sure.
but what does no monthly mortgage insurance mean?
Well, on conventional loans and FHA loans, you have monthly PMI or mortgage insurance, which is basically a protection for the lender in case the borrower defaults. VA does not have monthly mortgage insurance. They do have an upfront funding fee that is charged on all VA loans, but that is rolled into the loan amount. It's not charged to the borrower at closing.
So, what are we talking about with low closing costs? Does the military member have any money that they have to put down at all? Is there anything at all? Joe and I were talking about this yesterday. What exactly is expected of them, and what are they going to have to come to the table with, if anything?
Well, there are closing costs on every loan, but typically I see on most of my VA loans, we structure it to where the seller is paying most, if not all, of the closing costs for the borrower. So typically I see on a lot of my VA loans where folks come to the table with no money down, and a lot of times even get their earnest money deposit back at closing.
And it's funny, I kind of, this is Alex, I kind of want to butt in and say this. So we were working with Chase, and it is funny because I saw one of my customers get paid at closing, and I was like, man, you went and bought a home and you got money back.
Right.
I have to pay thousands to buy a home. It's incredible. The program that's offered to our military members, it really is.
It really is. And I mean, also you're going to see, and this is on all mortgages, but it helps with VA as well, especially if someone is transitioning to Abilene from another base. A lot of them don't realize they're not going to have a mortgage payment the month we close, and then the following month. So not only we can get them in with very little to zero out of pocket, they have 2 months of zero mortgage payment to really kind of get their feet under them, get settled in, maybe use that money for new furniture, new drapes, whatever they need for the house.
But after, correct? They buy that after. They shouldn't be buying furniture and cars.
Yes,
please address that.
Please. Yes, no major purchases, especially on credit, prior to closing. That's a biggie.
Well, and the interesting thing about talking about kind of the delayed payment, so to say, is there's a particular base that we work a lot with. And when those military members are coming in from that base, they need that extra month because they're still paying for housing where they are, and they need to go ahead and secure where they're going to be, get their family moved. So that's such a great thing for our servicemen.
It really is.
And women.
And yes, thank you. Our service
Men and women.
men and women.
Service folks.
So lower credit scores. What's the credit score requirement?
Well, at Gateway, we will go down to a 600 credit score on VA. I think most other folks in town are 620, but we will go down to, if we have 2 scores over 600, I do have to get that approved through automated underwriting. So, the debt to income ratio needs to be in line if I'm going to have a lower credit score like that. But I get a lot of 602s and 603s done on VA loans.
And then with underwriting, what exactly, or with the loan approval, what exactly is it that they're going to need? What are the documents that they need to be able to supply you with in order to get their loan processed?
Well, for pre-approval, I'm going to ask for 2 most recent pay stubs or LES statements. I'm going to ask for 2 most recent W-2s, 2 most recent bank statements, and that's the meat and potatoes of it. That's really what I need to get you pre-qualified. Once we go to underwriting, I'm going to need a few more things, copies of driver's license, social security card, things of that nature. But pay stubs, bank statements, W-2s are the 3 most important things. If you think you're getting ready to try to get pre-qualified, that's might be what you start getting together.
And I'd like to say, too, because me and Chase will meet with customers at the office, and some of them say, oh, I'm not ready to buy right now. Well, folks who are listening, it is a wonderful thing to do to get pre-approved, because then you know where you are in life. And Chase, what is the time frame? So if I get pre-approved with you today, Chase, how long is that pre-approval going to last for?
Well, that credit report that I pull is good for 120 days.
Wow.
So that gives you plenty of time to shop. And, people say, well, I don't want to get my credit pulled now. I want to wait till right before I buy the home. Well, that report is good for 4 months. So that gives you ample time to shop. What you don't want to do is go make an offer on a $200,000 house that you can't afford get your hopes up, and then everybody's disappointed. You want to know where you are going in, and then everybody's on the same page.
So I've got a question, and it's going to kind of go more towards the seller side of this now. So I'm selling my home, and I get a VA offer, so to say, which the way that I feel about it, and when I'm presenting it as a seller's agent, is that's almost a guarantee that the loan is going to close. I've been a realtor now for 15 years and worked VA from day one, and I have very, very, very seldom seen a VA loan not close.
Same here.
But the fear for the sellers is sometimes that VA appraisal, that it's going to come in with all of these repairs that are needed, which in my opinion, they're probably needed because they're needed. But what do you see typically that's on a VA appraisal that a seller can think about right now? Because truthfully, it needs to be done anyway.
Right. And VA and FHA as well, but even more so on VA, they're just looking for the fact that the house is move-in ready. They don't want to, and they're also looking for safety issues. They don't want any exposed wiring. Fogged windows, I always see, are a big one for some reason, as I'm sure you guys have seen. Cracked windows, things of that nature. Rotting wood or peeling paint, that's always going to be a big one. If you have a handrail on a deck that's loose, that could cause an injury, most VA appraisers are going to hit that. So it's not crazy stuff. It's things that most people are going to want done for a home that they're going to move into, no matter what type of loan they're doing.
You know, the beauty is if you're thinking about putting your home on the market, Johnson Property Group, with whether it's Joe, Alex, or myself, Robbie, we really understand what these VA appraisers are looking for. So if you're thinking about putting your home on the market, give one of us a call at 325-428-9114.
So Chase, can we circle back again and have you kind of explain what you meant by a VA loan being 100%?
Yes, sir, Joe. That's basically means zero down payment. On your FHA loan, which is kind of your starter loan here, that's going to be a 3.5% down payment. Conventional minimum down is 5%. Unless you are a first-time home buyer, there is a 3% down program on conventional. But VA is zero down payment. You're financing 100% of the loan amount.
Fantastic. So when a buyer comes and sees you, talks to you, brings in their stuff, what's the time frame they're looking at to get their property through and closed? From
the time we get a sales contract, typically we're going to set that closing date out 30 days. Some realtors will do 45 days. I'm finding we're closing ours in about 21 to 25 days on average right now. So that's a little, and VA, you are dependent upon the VA appraiser. It's kind of up to them as far as they have 10 business days to get it back to us, but we do find sometimes it takes a little longer than that. But 21 to 25 days, and I say 30 days would be the max if you come to Gateway Mortgage.
And Chase, as a young man, like many of our service members, myself, if I'm under contract with you and I go out and buy a new car, what's going to happen?
Well, first of all, if you go to one of any dealership, a lot of times they're going to shotgun your credit out to 15 different banks, which is going to cause 15 credit inquiries on your report, which could drop which could drop your score 30 or 40 points right there. And then also, when we see, anytime when we're about to close, when we're about 5 days out, we do a soft credit pull to see if there are any new inquiries. And if we come across that and see those 15 inquiries, we're going to have to do a credit supplement to see if you've purchased anything. If you have, that can affect debt to income ratio, credit scores, all kinds of things. So the big thing to look at is from the time you get pre-qualified and from the time I'll pull your credit, do not have anyone pull your credit. Do not make any purchases on credit. Just become a credit ghost until we close on your home.
Well, that is really good advice, and I do appreciate you giving that, because a lot of folks that I've met and buyers, they don't know this stuff, and they'll go out and they're all excited because buyers are happy. They're like, I cannot wait to get this home, and I'm not having to spend anything. I got my closing paid for. I don't have a down payment, so I'm going to go get X, Y, and Z.
Well, and just real quick, I just wanted to mention something to y'all is one of the things that we do with Johnson Property Group is when we have somebody who, and especially with our military members, we sit down before we even go and look at homes and we talk them through all of these different scenarios and issues and things like that. And at that point in time, we get them almost pre-approved. I know Chase is the person who sits down with them and does that. Can you tell us a little bit about what we do in those meetings, Chase?
Well, and I've really found these to be beneficial because, we sit down right from the get-go. You guys discuss the things to watch for. I discuss the things to watch for. We kind of feel everybody out to what they're looking for. We go ahead and do the pre-approval process at that point if the buyer or the client is ready to do that. So from this initial meeting, you can walk out with a very good idea of everything that's going to happen on the real estate side of things with these guys, and you can walk out with a pre-approval letter in your hand from me. So it's very beneficial.
Chase, what we do too, because me and Chase have done this, y'all, it's really great because we'll have a meeting, and then right after there, I'll already have properties pulled up. I'm excited to go show you, and then right from there, 15, 20 minutes later, we're out the door looking at homes.
Right.
Well, and I think it shows too that our lender is our lateral partner. The lender isn't doing our job and we're not doing the lender's job. And that's why it's so important to have that lender with us in the first meeting, because we don't know everything that's going on in the lending world and all of the changes that are occurring. And let me tell you, when I sold real estate, and Joe did too, in 2010, when the world was changing every single day. And I learned back then that you have to have those partners and they have to be able to do their job and work for the customer just like we're working for the customer. So we develop that whole team of people who actually works for you.
Robbie, I think you're really right about this team, because I have found by doing these meetings, by helping people, they're not confused, because most people, even the ones who are barely paying anything to get into a home, they're like, what's going on? Okay, so now
what do I do next?
What is going on with all of this? Where are we going to go?
Hi guys, my name is Chaz, and I'm listening in on your conversation. Very interesting, by the way. But I wanted to ask you, Chase, as far as VA loans are concerned, a lot of people may or may not know this, but if you default on your first tier for a VA loan, perhaps then you have to pay some sort of a penalty and everything. Is that the case as far as how many different tiers do you actually have with that?
There is a tier 2 for eligibility. If you've had defaults in certain cases, you have to qualify, and as we talked about earlier, there might be a penalty involved. So if you have had a default in the past, before you even get your credit pulled, you can come to me. We can pull your certificate of eligibility through the VA online, and it tells us exactly what your status is. So if you're eligible for a tier 2 with a previous default, you can. That also brings me in another thing that a lot of people don't know, even in my business, is that you can have 2 VA loans at once.
Whoa. You have 2 VA loans at once?
You can have 2 VA loans at once.
That's cool.
It's called bonus eligibility, and I find that most people in the industry, in my industry, don't know about it. But if you already have a VA loan, and then the next home you're purchasing is over $144,100, you can have another VA loan at the same time.
Well, and I find that sometimes they're doing this because they may come back to be, so they're going to rent the home
right
while they're away. And, let's face it, Abilene's a great place to raise children. And I'm finding this a lot, that they're saying, okay, we don't want to sell our home. We want to make Abilene our home forever.
I see a lot of that.
If any of you want to make Abilene your home forever, give us a call at 325-428-9114. I'll get you in touch with either Alex or Joe, or you can talk to me too, and we would love to help you make Abilene your home. Okay, everyone, I just kind of want to move on to another topic real quick, which in the studio with us is Pam Seitz, who is the Convention Services Director with the Abilene Convention and Visitors Bureau. Phew, that's a mouthful, Pam. But I really want to start just real quick to kind of tell you who Pam is. Pam and I met in the Abilene Leadership Program
2015.
And we just decided that day, I have to tell y'all, I didn't know anyone in the program, and Miss Pam knows everybody in Abilene. And we just became best of friends, and still best of friends today. So this show would not be complete if Pam wasn't part of the show.
Oh, thank you.
I really felt it was important that when we're selling real estate in this area, that we understand what's going on in Abilene, because so many people move to our area and they say, what's there to do? So the perfect person to tell us what's there to do is Pam.
It's me.
So take it away, Pam.
Well, first I'd like to just say a little bit about what my office does. What the Abilene Convention and Visitors Bureau does is we sell Abilene. This is actually my hometown, and I'm very proud of it. And we have a lot of wonderful things going on in Abilene at any given time. So our office concentrates on bringing in as many conventions, conferences, meetings, family reunions, weddings. Any time that you want to come into Abilene, that you want to have a meeting, you need to contact our office. We have multiple services that we can offer anybody that's coming into Abilene using hotel rooms, and all of our services are for the low, low price of free.
Well, and the great thing, too, is they have a beautiful office, by the way, in downtown Abilene, and which I love downtown Abilene, by the way.
It's fabulous.
Just love it. That was one of the things I fell in love with when I moved here. But one of the great things is that you can just go into their office and get tons of brochures about different things, that whether it's Frontier Texas or the Grace or whatever it is, you can just go in there and get all of that information.
You can. The actual Visitor Center is located at Frontier Texas. It was originally in our building, but when Frontier Texas opened, we shifted that over to them. However, our office does maintain a lot of Abilene information. If you need information about Texas or the surrounding area, Frontier Texas is where you want to go. But we keep all of the Abilene brochures and things to do at our office.
Okay, so tell us what's going on. I know you've always got me doing something. She's got me all involved in Cattle Barons Ball, and somehow I got voluntold that I'm on a committee, which is wonderful.
I had nothing to do with that. I'm innocent. Well, we just recently had Outlaws and Legends, the 7th annual. Mark Powell invites a wonderful group of country and western artists and musicians out to the back porch of Texas. So that's always a really big thing for Abilene. They come from every state in the union, 8 different countries, and these folks will make reservations for next year, have already made reservations for next year.
So for people for next year, Pam, like is it all day long? Is it like a festival?
It's a festival, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It starts on Friday, goes through Saturday, and this year, I'm not sure if they'll do it next year or not. This year, they actually had a Sunday morning service where they did gospel music.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah. So, but for the rest of the month, we have a lot of sporting activities go on. Debbie Schultz is our sports director, and she is busy. Recently just had the Texas State Powerlifting Championship here. And, of course, we're always looking forward to Texas High School.
I'm sorry, what is powerlifting? Is
Powerlifting,
it like weights?
Weights lift, yes.
Okay.
Yes. And it's my understanding we had a young man lifted just a little over 1,000 pounds. Yeah.
Wow.
It was absolutely something crazy to see, I think.
Wow. Okay.
I missed it, but I've heard rumors.
Oh.
But like I said, in June we'll have the Texas High School Rodeo. We've had them here for 25 years, and we signed a contract last year, so we'll get them back for the next 3 more years. And
I remember when y'all were doing that last year.
That was a big deal for us.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of the reason that we are able to bring these folks back in again and again is because they love coming to Abilene. They love the friendliness of the people. Our offices and our community go out of our way to make them feel welcome, to know how much we appreciate them. These events, Texas High School Rodeo and 4-H, a state horse show, which comes at the end of July, also been here about 25 years, and we'll be signing a contract with them in a couple of years. But they generate around 2,000 hotel room nights each time they come. So they're here for, 8 to 10 days.
Which is a great economic boost.
It's a huge economic boost. It absolutely is. So we just love having them come back and look forward to them every year. I'm already working like crazy getting ready for them.
Thanks, Pam, so much for being here today. And thank you, everyone, for listening to us. You can hear us every week on this station. Same time, same place. Johnson Property Group at Keller Williams Realty on our radio show, Big Country Lifestyles. So if you need to buy a property or sell a property, contact us at 325-428-9114 or on our Facebook page, Johnson Property Group at Keller Williams Realty.